when you serve hard, the selling is easy. Grow an audience, serve them, find a niche that you're in or whatever niche you're currently in, and anybody could do this.
Yo, welcome to Cash Flow Unlocked. It's your host, Perry Jeffries, and I have a guest here today that I'm so excited to share with our community. So if you're already inside our Facebook group, you are in for a treat. Be sure to type your questions in the comment section. And if you're listening to this via a podcast, definitely connect with us by going to facebook.com/groups/cash flow unlock so you can be part of our community and get this information in real time. So with that being said, y'all, today's thought of the day, I thought fitting that I start off with this one. Years ago, and I don't know if it's probably been close to 10 years now, a client of mine decided to get a certification and become John Maxwell speakers and coaches in the areas of personal growth, development, and leadership. And in one of the books, John says, and it has always resonated with me, everything rises and falls with leadership. And though we're talking about unlocking your cash flow and creating passive income and growing your wealth, understand that we can provide you with all the strategies in the world. We can give you all the techniques, proven techniques, strategies, what have you. But ultimately, your success lies on your leadership and who you are as a person. So with that being said, this is a great segue into introducing my guest here because we were just talking about it offline. We connected with each other via social media some many moons ago because we were both John Maxwell coaches in that particular space. So I've been following this guest for some years now. I've been on some of his webinars, following some of his stuff, and I just always had a special place in my heart for him. He doesn't know this, but I've actually listened to his podcast when I was running a mile a day for 435 days. So when I would alternate podcasts, I would listen to his stuff. So with that being said, y'all, I'm going to introduce our guest today. Dave Gambrill is joining us, y'all. We want to give him a warm round of applause, finger snaps and the whole nine, likes and all of that good stuff indeed. So let me read through his bio and why we're bringing him into the group today. So here's Dave's bio, short bio. Dave is a keynote speaker, corporate trainer, and executive coach who helps people unleash their awesome on the world with a focus on digital marketing. He made his first few dollars online from a website banner ads and selling things on eBay in the early 1990s. I got to pause. Quick insertion here. I was telling my daughters about something I did back in high school in 1994, and they looked at me like I was a dinosaur. 1994? What's that like 30? They laughed at me. My wife laughed at me, but we're good, Dave. So we're good. So start making your money back here in 1990s, right? And I've been growing this online empire ever since. You can listen to his podcast, Unleash the Awesome, on your favorite podcast app, and you can interact with him on Instagram via @Gambrill, right? And then also too, he has a Facebook group, which I know he'll probably talk about that here as well. So you may be wondering, y'all, like, okay, Perry, why are you bringing on a digital marketer onto, the Cash Flow Unlock podcast or training where we're always talking about creating wealth and money? Because here's the deal, y'all. The reason I've always followed Dave and stay connected with him is because I was on one of his webinars years ago. He might not even remember this. And he was talking about his affiliate marketing and the amount of money that he was generating passively from literally, referring services that he uses to his community. And one of the things that he always says is grow your email list. Right. So with that being said, let me introduce my guy, Dave. Dave, thanks for joining us, brother. Appreciate you taking the time out your day to come rock with us. Welcome to Cash Flow Unlocked, man. I gave a little bio on you, but tell us what's going on with you. Tell us a little bit about you, my friend.
Yo, what's up, Perry? It's an honor to be here. And of course, to talk about this stuff because I love to talk about this because this is what I make most of my money doing. And there's nothing better than making what I call email money. And that's what we're going to get into today. And I know you're really good at helping people keep their money once they get it, right? And maybe make some money too. But
Mhm.
what I love to do is just make money passively and really through the way that Zig Ziglar taught. Once I leaned into this idea, and I'm sure we've all heard this quote of help enough people get what they, you can have anything you want. And that's really how I've positioned affiliate marketing for me in my life. I'm just helping people get the things that they need, and I just happen to get paid for it in the process, which is pretty darn cool.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So, man, let's go ahead and just lean right into this thing, man, with the affiliate marketing piece, right?
Okay.
For those who don't know what affiliate marketing is, because we don't want to make any assumptions here, we want to definitely make sure we meet our people where they are. What is affiliate marketing?
Yeah, so affiliate marketing is really just, well, let me explain to you what it's not. Let me give you an example of like traditional marketing, and then I'll explain affiliate marketing, and that might make it a little easier for people. If you think about traditional marketing, like McDonald's or Verizon or something like that, they have to spend a ton of money up front to acquire a customer, right? Their customer acquisition cost is high. So they spend all this money on ads and repeated ads and sponsorships and things like that with the hopes that they'll actually get a paying client. And then when they get a paying client, especially somebody in the mobile phone industry like Verizon, it can take upwards of 2 years for them to just make their money back on the advertising. That's why you have to
Ooh,
sign a contract with those companies, right? Because they got to get their money back. What affiliate marketing is those companies that employ affiliate marketing, they do not pay any marketing dollars until they receive a paying client. So if I were to refer a client to you and you were in affiliate marketing, you would not pay any marketing dollars until after I referred somebody to you. And traditionally, people will pay a percentage. Sometimes it's a one time percentage, like a finder's fee type thing. Sometimes it's a recurring thing, which I really love. We'll talk about that a fair amount. But once that person gets a customer, once a company gets a customer, then they pay their marketing. And the cool thing about that is they don't have to pay until they get their customer. And they typically will have a window of time that they have to wait for them to pay. So they'll actually get that money in hand. They'll get that revenue in hand as a company before they'll pay that percentage out to whatever affiliate marketer sent them that lead or that person or that customer. So that's all it really is. It kind of, I know some people hear this and they're like, oh, this sounds like multi-level marketing or like some icky stuff that they don't want to get involved with. It doesn't need to be like that. It doesn't need to be 7 levels deep. It doesn't need to be all that stuff. It's literally just saying, hey, I like this product. It's pretty cool. I think you might like it too. I think it might help you. Here's my link. And then I get paid if you use it. That's really it in a nutshell.
I love that. I love that. So let's unpack that a little bit, and I want to make sure we lean into it because what we always want to do on our trainings is make sure we connect the dots. So people typically join our group or watch our podcast, listen to our podcast, or join our group because they're looking to create some passive income. Because we truly believe that passive income is the gateway to financial freedom. When you have enough passive income coming in to cover your lifestyle expenses, that's when you're financially free, and that independence can lead to having more impact, right? And I know you and I kind of share that same vibe there. So with respect to this affiliate marketing piece, let's give people kind of like a real life example. So I was on one of your trainings one day and both of us use Kajabi.
Yep.
So Kajabi is, the platform that allows us, online coaches to have, coursework for our members and things of that nature, and actually serves as a CRM for some other businesses and things of that nature. I won't even attempt to try to get into it because I know you live and breathe Kajabi,
Yep.
but kind of give us an idea just so that people can connect the dots of how you create passive income by referring the Kajabi out. I know the answer to this already, but I'd rather hear you
Yeah.
share. Yep.
So the first thing is be a product of the product. So I use it, I understand it, I can articulate it, I can answer questions about it, I can be a good reference for people. But then all I do really is, people ask me, how do you do that? Or what is that? Or this is really slick. I like this format. How did you do that? And I said, well, I have this thing I use called Kajabi. And here's my link. I have an affiliate link that they give you and I share it with them. And when they go ahead and register as a Kajabi client or customer, I get paid 30% month after month after month, as long as they remain a client or customer of Kajabi. Additionally, some companies have programs like this. Kajabi happens to be one of them. If you refer at least 50 people and you keep it at 50, they give you a car allowance. And if you refer at least 100 people, they double that car allowance. So they're paying for my Tesla Model 3 that I'm driving around in right now, as well as the commissions I get on top of that.
Hold on, brother. So I want to make sure that people connecting the dots on this bad boy, right? So you have this software that you use, right? You and I both use this software. It helps you grow your business, so you're making money that way. And when people see, this software, man, I really like that. How are you doing that? Hey, I use this thing. Are you interested in it? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Well, cool. Here's my link to this thing, right? In this case, Kajabi.
Yep.
They sign up. Kajabi then pays you a 30% commission month after month on their subscription to the software.
Yep. That's
And from a loyalty program standpoint, they give you a car allowance for, I don't know if you have to get a Tesla or whatnot. I wouldn't be mad
get
at a
whatever you
Tesla.
want.
But you get whatever you want, but you get the car allowance. So your Tesla, which is, your car is typically probably one of your second largest expenses outside of your mortgage and your rent and things of that nature, is being paid via the company that you referred business to.
That's correct. And that's just one of them.
Oh,
Qualified for car programs in a number of other software companies.
oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. So, and I don't want to get all into your finances and things of that nature, but can you give us an idea of what type of revenue someone could, if they were going all in on this the way you have? Because I know like this is your jam. You
Yep.
know, from a passive income standpoint, give us a range, or if you want to share anything with like kind of give us an idea of what that may look like.
Okay. And clearly, here's our disclaimers. I'm not making income claims. Your mileage may vary. This is not get rich quick. You need to put in the work, blah, blah, blah.
Let's go.
If you're just getting started with it, it's not hard for you to make a couple $100 a month, especially with something like a software where it's, the person's going to pay 150 bucks a month. And if you get a few people at 30%, right, that's a couple $100. Somebody that I happen to know personally who might be a guest on today's podcast is doing in excess of 6 figures a month in affiliate revenue. Let's just put it that way.
Let's go with that. 6 figures a month.
And
Oh,
but let me be clear too, because it sounds like, wow, is it too good to be true? And you mentioned the word passive. It's not entirely passive. And the reason why I'm so successful with it is because I do a lot of things to get people to stick and stay. So I get them to be successful when they get started. And my whole thing is I don't just want to get that 30% one month. I want to get 30% month after month after month after month. And so what I do is I do a little bit of hand holding, a little bit of consulting, a little bit of mentoring. Sometimes I create mini courses and stuff to help people get started with some of these resources, because to me, that's the effort that I put in to kind of plant the seed and then water the seed and fertilize the seed. And then once they get going and they make their first dollar online or whatever,
yeah.
they're hooked and they'll stay. And so that's the difference. The reason why I'm successful at it, even though, thousands of people do this, is
Mhm.
because I take the time to understand this is a long game, and I will spend a little extra effort up front to get them in and get them to stay.
Man, brother. So much to unpack on that, y'all. I want to make sure y'all didn't miss this. So this isn't just, hey man, here's my link, and hopefully you sign up, I get paid. Dave is actually giving them, investing in them to make sure that they're successful, which is kind of going back to, how we first got connected from a leadership standpoint, right? And personal growth and development. So it's not just, hey, sign up and I get paid, but you're giving them the resources to be successful, which that resonated, man. And that sent chills down my spine. So I love that piece, man. And this is just one company. You have multiple companies and kind of you run this play across a pretty wide I'm gonna say you cast a pretty wide net, but I know this is just one. When I was on one of your trainings listening to it, so you do this for other companies as well that you like their software and you refer it out. Is that correct?
I do. And software is one of the easier ones to do because the software industry kind of understands this and they're willing to do this affiliate stuff because it just makes sense. And software has higher margins. And so
Mhm.
they're okay, paying the 30, some will pay 40%. But traditionally it's about 25 to 40%.
Mhm.
And yeah, I deal with, last I checked, like 300 and some companies. But it's not just software. If you're familiar with like Athletic Greens or AG1, like they
Yeah.
have a referral program and they won't necessarily pay you money, although they do have a separate program where you could do that, but you have to have a pretty sizable audience. But even if they're just going to give you a credit for your next month's supply of whatever it is you're using, in a lot of cases, then you could take that money that you're spending on your nutritional supplements or whatever else it is, your
Right.
makeup or your clothes or whatever, and you could invest that in some of the stuff you talk about people should be investing in. So you
Yeah.
could like have your cake and eat it too. You could get your makeup, your clothes, your supplements, whatever, and you could also be investing that money that you would otherwise in something else that could create even more money through dividends, equity growth, whatever.
Man, absolutely, brother. So this is exciting. So here's the deal, y'all. If you've been exposed to affiliate marketing in the past, right? Again, We're not making income claims that you're going to roll out to bid and make six figures a month. That's not what we're saying. But with that being said, someone starting out could add an extra couple $100 a month to their income, right? So I'm gonna put a hard pause in there and make sure we connect the dots for our audience on the podcast and also inside the group. Y'all know we're always talking about creating wealth and our definition of wealth. And Dave, I don't know if you've ever heard our definition of wealth, but I'll give it to you. Our definition of wealth is the accumulation of assets which can be converted into passive income in order to cover your lifestyle expense. So you grow an asset that can convert into cash flow that could cover your monthly expenses so that you had that financial freedom, right? And what I love about your piece and why I was so excited to bring you on here is because this falls right in line with what we're talking about. But the asset that you're growing is actually your contact list, it's your email list, it's your network. And you're growing that and providing value to that community. And in turn, when they, do take action and use a software and whatnot, and you continue to train them, that's how you're growing your wealth. So that's how we believe in wealth, right? So again, what would an extra, I'll ask this question, what would an extra $100, $500, $1,000, $10,000 a month do for you? Well, you got to make a decision. You're going to have to grow an asset. And what Dave has done a phenomenal job doing is growing his community and serving his community. So with that being said, man, let's kind of dive into that piece. How have you been able to do this? Or how did you first start doing this and even get onto this piece? Like, how did this start? What's the backstory to this?
I'll make it as short as I can because I could talk about this for a very long time. But where I really made it a serious thing and I made it like the kind of money I was talking about before is I kept getting these questions over and over from people like, how are you doing that? What is this thing? What's going on? And I was involved in one affiliate program with one company and I was making some pretty good money with it, a couple $1,000s a month. And I thought, you know what? People are asking me this question enough. Why don't I start hosting free conference calls? So before Zoom and stuff was popular, I was just doing these free conferencing calls on like Tuesday nights. I'd say, jump on the call. I'll answer your questions about, building your thing online, your digital marketing, whatever you're building your email list. And I would teach. And then I would say, hey, if you're going to do this, you're going to need some tools. Here are some tools. And what I did to try to get around conflict of interest was I just say, here's a whole list of tools. I don't really care which one to use. Here's what they do. Here's what they don't do. Here's what they're good at. Here's what they're not good at. But if I've helped you at all in this process, I'd appreciate if you just use my link. Oftentimes, you'll even get a better deal because I offer partners, affiliate partners like me, better things for you. And so that was really it. And so to this day, I actually have a resource guide that I still get out. It's one of my most popular things. And it's literally just a Google document. It's not all prettied up and everything. I don't have some VA, put some great graphics in it. It's just a Google document that I maintain. And I say to people, hey, if you want to get access to this resource, here's the link. And then they get it. They get the resource. Many of the things on there are affiliate links. And then oftentimes I'll send them follow-up emails and say, hey, if you like this, share it with a friend. They share it with a friend, so on and so on and so on. And so it just continues to grow. So I actually put one together for your audience today.
Let's go.
Yeah. So they could just go to my last name, gambrill.com/Perry. And they'll see, they can get this resource guide. It'll take them right to the Google document. They'll see it. They can see right what I put in the first or second paragraph, like, hey, some of these things are affiliate resources because you have to disclose that you're an affiliate.
Sure.
These might be affiliate links, but just all the stuff I just explained to you, it's kind of there in a paragraph. And then I have them listed by category. So there's software, there's artificial intelligence stuff. And a lot of it is not necessarily stuff I'm going to make money on. Like there's AI prompts in there about how to help use ChatGPT and other things like that. So I'm serving. One of my friends, Barry Baumgartner, who is really good with creating live events for people that have high ticket offers, she said something that resonates with me. And I think this will land on your audience. When you serve hard, the selling is easy.
Ooh.
So
say that again. Yeah. Say that again.
Yes. When you serve hard, the selling is easy.
Lord.
So, and I would imagine you've probably heard the book Influence: The Psychology of Persuasion by Dr. Robert Cialdini, right? And in there, he talks about reciprocity. Mm-hmm. So all I'm really doing is creating a ton of reciprocity, a ton of goodwill. I'm serving my audience really hard. I do a ton, like, I literally have thousands of Facebook Lives. I have my podcast episodes. I come on and do things like this. I'm not getting paid to do this, right? It's just like give, serve, give, serve, give, serve. And it builds up so much reciprocity in the marketplace that when people are ready to pull the trigger on something, they just circle back to me and go, "Hey, Dave, I just wanted to make sure I use your affiliate link. I'm getting ready to do this, whatever. Is this the right link?" And so people will double check with me before they pull the trigger on stuff. So that's really it. I mean, just, grow an audience, serve them, find a niche that you're in or whatever niche you're currently in. And anybody could do this. And you could create, if you get that resource guide I just mentioned,
Yeah.
there's email providers in there like ConvertKit or ActiveCampaign. You could start, or Beehive. You could start an email list on whatever subject you want. You could serve people daily, weekly, monthly, however you want to send it out. And then you just drop your affiliate links in there and say, "Hey, do you like this? You want this?" I do it on my podcast. I literally just did it here on your podcast.
Yeah, no doubt.
Affiliate link necessarily, but like it wasn't hard to just go, "Hey, you want this resource?" And that's
Go
it.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Okay. So my head is spinning over here and I'm trying to make my notes just so I can keep my thoughts together, man. But that serve with when you serve hard, selling is easy, man. You know what I'm saying? That's almost tattoo worthy. But I don't know if I don't think I'm allowed to get that one. But I love that. Um, that just, oh man, that speaks volumes to me. What I love about what you're talking about, because and well, another reason I was so excited to have you on today, so many times we think about you have to have a lot of money to create passive income. So, you have to have a lot of money to invest in real estate. We had a guest on here earlier, our friend Jesse Lang was like, nope, you don't necessarily have to have a lot of money, but you need to know who to go get the money from and how to use other people's money, right? But with short, and then kind of on the investment side, yeah, if you want to get paid off of dividends, you kind of got to have a nice chunk of money invested in a stock position in order to, get a significant dividend. But what we're talking about right here, we're not saying, hey, you got to come to the table with, 5, 10, 20,000, 100,000, $1 million. We're saying literally serve hard and serve your community, right? And then be able to offer things that benefit them and just help them in that journey, right? So
Yeah.
man, lean into that a little bit, brother, because this is so powerful to me. Um, why do you do what you do? Why are you doing this?
Yeah. It took me a while to figure out like what I really am good at helping people do is unleash their awesome. And to put it into those terms, it took me a long time to figure that out too. But really just teaching and training and serving and helping people take things to the next level. But I heard a quote that's been attributed to a number of people, including Mark Twain, this idea of the people who got rich. All right, let's just talk about the business side, right? I talked about like serve people. Obviously, that's what we want to do first, but we're here to make money, right? So let's talk about that piece too.
Let's do it.
This quote is mostly attributed to Mark Twain. Who knows who really said it? But the people who got rich during the gold rush were not the people who were panning for gold. It was the people who were selling shovels and pickaxes, right? And so what I figured out, I don't know, 20 years ago, was
Yeah.
that people are always going to be on this path of trying to better themselves and share information online and make money and chase the dream or whatever. And I thought to myself, well, why don't I just stay in one spot and essentially open up a shovel and pickaxe store? And
Yeah.
people are coming through, just explain to them, hey, this shovel will help you with this pickaxe will help with that. And so with the technology stuff for digital marketing and now with AI in the last year, people are confused. They don't know what choices to make. And as long as I stay in that spot and just keep helping people make decisions around that stuff, I will never run out of things to talk about. And I'd like to do it. It's in my wheelhouse. I like to play with this stuff. And I'm just essentially selling shovels and pickaxes because as people come by, they say, what AI tool should I use? What thing should I use to sell my thing? What shopping cart should I use? How, what payment processor? And some of those things I don't get paid on.
Yeah.
When I give them a good reference or good recommendation, then
Mhm.
they'll come back to me on the next thing. And
Yeah.
so even if it's not a paid thing the first time, like I don't care. Just say, hey, go use this, go use that, whatever. Do you have an affiliate link? No, I don't. But that's the best one, I think. Go use it.
Yeah.
The next thing. So for me, it just was I just position myself in that spot, and there's always a flow of traffic of people coming through that want to learn this stuff. And I just
Woo-wee.
continue to serve and then sell shovels and pickaxes.
Man, it's so and I know we probably have read so many of the same books and things of that nature, but to that point, literally you identified a need and you became the solution to that need, and it's broad enough where you can serve and help a lot of people. So let me is why we kind of just even having this business conversation. Do you have a particular, for folks who are listening, do you have a particular niche, or is it like who rocks with you, who's your tribe, who's your community, who are those people?
Yeah, I do. And I'll actually address a question I see in the Facebook group too, along with this the
Yeah.
answer to this question. So, yeah, so I really focus on people who are speakers, trainers, coaches, consultants, people who want to monetize their message online. That's where this whole thing got started. And so, anybody that wants to be like an author or a speaker, they want to put courses online, no matter what the course is. It could be dog training, photography, calligraphy, uh, leadership, whatever, right? How to do a podcast. And so I was doing a lot of stuff around that. And so a lot of my recommendations are for tools that will help you do that. Somebody asked a question in the Facebook group, well, are you saying I can sell anything? Well, you could, but you'll have much more success if you stay kind of within your niche and say like, Kajabi is good for you. Or right now I'm using some software called Ecamm Live that allows me to broadcast through Zoom and do some other stuff. And I can do special effects and all this other stuff. I'm an affiliate for them, clearly. So, I'll mention that. I'll talk about that. But occasionally I will talk to people and somebody will say, hey, I noticed your health journey. You've lost a lot of weight. What's going on? How's that working for you? And I'll be like, well, I'm using AG1 from Athletic Greens. Here's my link, whatever, so I'm not getting paid on that necessarily. And it's not really congruent with my niche necessarily. But
Yeah.
yeah, people will come back to me and ask for recommendations outside of the niche because I've served them so well in that niche. So I guess my caution to the person asking the question in the group would be, when you first get started, try to stay focused on a niche and get
Hmm.
known for something
Hmm.
before you start trying to offer anything. Because when I first started doing this, I was like, okay, I'm selling everything. And
Right.
because I was selling everything, I was a specialist in nothing.
Correct.
And so why would anybody listen to me, right? Because I'm just like,
Mhm.
today I'm selling this, the next day I'm referring that, whatever. So I got really well known in the community for helping people create courses, build their email lists, do Facebook Lives, do Zooms, what kind of, like, literally at the holidays, Black Friday, I put out a list of tools you might need to do this kind of stuff. What kind of webcam, what kind of ring light, what kind of microphone, whatever. I don't make a lot of money in the Amazon Associates program. It's like pennies actually, but it's another one of those things that serves my audience. And so
Yeah.
on that list, there are probably some things that weren't totally congruent with it. It's like just other gifts you might want to get. But I have the freedom and flexibility to do that now because my audience trusts me, because I was good at serving them in that niche that they came to me for advice on.
Man, there it is. That's awesome. Thank you for answering that question. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Awesome. So I know you have some potential. I think you have what, not potential. You have some slides or some stuff that you may want
Yeah.
to share with us.
Yeah, but we don't have to go with it. I mean, we've gone through a
Okay.
lot of them just through your questions, which is good.
Okay. Awesome.
I'm making sure we
Awesome.
covered all. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's kind of, man. So let's go here, man. Go here and look at my notes one more time. Make sure we
While,
got
while you're
everything I
looking at
want
your
to cover.
notes, I'll,
Uh-huh.
I'll drop it again because I know someone in the comments. If they go to gambrill.com/Perry, they get my resource guide. But I also did have slides prepared for this. So if people want to go and kind of go through this and see some of the stuff I'm talking about and find places where they might be able to find affiliate programs, I have a lot of that mapped out there in those slides for you.
Gotcha. So you know what? Kind of let's lean into this question that the person had that you already kind of answered, but somebody may be asking, okay, so how do I get started?
Yeah, great question. And I do have those in the slides. And so that made me think about it. So here's what I would do. Find the stuff that you're already using, the software you're using, whatever services you're already using. Maybe you're using a delivery service for your pets or something, food delivery or toys or something. I don't know. Go to that website, scroll all the way to the bottom
Mhm.
and see if they have an affiliate program, a partner program, an influencer program. It could be called any of these things, referral program, and just get in the habit of scrolling all the way to the bottom and finding that and then apply for it. Sometimes they just take anybody. Sometimes they'll ask you if you have an email list. So obviously you need to have some kind of following for some of those. Some of them are even more restrictive. You need to have a pretty sizable audience, but a lot of them will just let you in. So even if they're not paying a lot of money, even if they're just going to refer you or you're going to get credits towards your own product or whatever, just get in the habit of doing that. Scroll all the way down, enter your name. They'll often give you your own link, specialized link, your referral link. You got to make sure you use that. And people have to use that in order for you to get credit. That's how it gets tracked. And then just get in the habit of doing that. Like when you're at a holiday party and somebody's like, oh, your dress looks great, or I love your earrings, or oh, I got them from whatever. Oh, do you know what? I can get 5% off if you use my link. Like, for some people, that's a stretch. For some people, that's uncomfortable. For some people, they're not accustomed to doing that. So I would say, like, that's a comfort challenge for you. Like, just
Mm,
get in the habit of saying, hey, yeah, I use a service. You might like it. Let me know. And you could either text them the link or whatever. For me, I've made it very simple for myself. I'm not going to get all the technical details of it, but like a lot of my affiliate links are just my domain slash whatever the name of the company is. It makes it
Yeah.
easy. But there's services like Bitly or other things you could use to kind of shorten the links.
Mhm.
Or you could just start a spreadsheet in Google Docs and be like, here's the name of the company, here's my link, whatever. So you could just pull that up and quickly share it with people. But get in the habit of doing that. And then I think once you start figuring that out and you're like, oh, like this is, I can't think of a better analogy. So this is the one I use all the time, but it's literally like doing drugs or something. Like you get that first hit, you get that first $5, you get that first $10, you get that first $5 credit on your service or whatever. And you're
That
like,
email money.
yeah, you're like, wait, what? And literally just before I got on this call today, I got an email from a company that pays on the first and the 15th of the month. And I just got one today, like, oh, so and so sending you a payment tomorrow. I looked at it and I was like, that's beautiful. I'm getting ready to get on a podcast and talk about this stuff. And this dude's sending me money that'll show up tomorrow because a lot of them pay via PayPal. So that'd
Yeah.
be the second thing I would tell people. If you don't already have a PayPal account,
Mm.
you might want to establish one because most of the companies tend to pay out that way. But get in the habit of doing that. And if you're not using any other services now, then just go whatever your niche is, go to Google and type in whatever your niche is, and then
Mhm.
put affiliate program or referral program or
Mm.
whatever, and just see what companies are offering what and see how you can become part of it. Again, some of them are like more formal and they make you go through training, and sometimes they make you be a customer, which I'm actually okay with. I
Yeah,
think you
for
can,
sure.
articulate better if you are a product of the product.
Mhm.
So some of them will restrict it to only customers, but a lot of them will just let you do it anyway. And then just get in the habit of doing that. So pretty much anything. I was on a call with my own community today and somebody referenced something I never heard of. And I was like, oh, cool. So as they were talking, I went to the website they were talking about. I scrolled all the way to the bottom. I was like, oh, sweet. They have an affiliate program. So that's
Man.
like one of the first things I look at.
Oh, I love it. Okay. I got a couple questions here, but you said something, and I'm going to make sure we spend some time on it. The comfort challenge, right? You
Yeah.
said, some people aren't comfortable saying, "Hey, yeah, are you digging this thing, man? Here's my link. You can get 5, 10% off," right? That challenge that people have, what do you think that's about? So let's talk about that piece because I wholly believe that so many of us are walking around with so much potential. We need help unleashing our awesome, right? So we
Yeah.
need a Dave in our life,
Yeah.
but we're walking around with so much awesome that needs to be released. But sometimes we don't have the confidence, or we have some mental baggage that's stopping us from sharing with the world what we do. And I think all of us, if you've been in the coaching space, we all have kind of dealt with that in different ways and different hurdles. So let's address that a little bit, man. We got two, personal growth and leadership coaches on the call. Let's talk about that piece. What is stopping people from doing that?
Yeah. We could talk about this for a long time, but
No doubt.
but really, I think it's just they don't understand the value. So there's this thing that we call the curse of knowledge. So
Mm.
when you get so close to something and you know something so well, oftentimes when you want to share it or talk about it or articulate it, you think to yourself something along the lines of, isn't this is so dumb? Doesn't everybody know this? Like, no, no, I'm not going to talk about this. And the reality is you've spent your entire life or your entire career or whatever learning this thing. And so you're so good at talking about it that anytime you say it, it just sounds kind of elementary to you because it is, because you're so good at it, right? So I'll tell you, the last thing I want to talk about is telling people to build their email list. I talk about that all the time, right? I have a message fatigue, I call it. Like I don't want to say that anymore, but I know that that's what I need to say in order for people to be successful,
Yeah.
right? So I think people don't understand that one, they have that talent or that ability or that thing they've learned that they could share with the world. So they're afraid to share it, which also falls in line with this thing of if there's a service or a product that's really served you and you believe that selling is a service, which is what I believe, right? You're going to
Mhm.
serve this person by giving them that link,
Mhm.
then why would you not do it? Like
Mm.
you have to make that fear subservient to the need to help your friend or serve your audience or whatever,
Woo.
right? Get over your damn self.
Woo. Man, gems in there. The curse of knowledge.
Yeah.
Man, you know what? I tell folks my unfair advantage or my cheat code is I have a network of people who are smarter than I am or
Mhm.
sharper in different areas. And I love doing these episodes because every time my guest gives me something that I needed to hear, right? So that curse of knowledge. I've been in my space 20 years, right? And I can go and if we're talking about math, I can go and teach, calculus 4 and differential equations with, fluidity. But a lot of times folks need addition and subtraction, right? And
Yeah,
it's like, what are we talking about addition and subtraction for? We're on calculus 4 right now. No, people need addition and subtraction. So, man, so I'm so glad you said that because that's what I needed to hear right there. Woo, goodness gracious. All right, man. So, with respects to where you're going here in the future, man, kind of what's your trajectory? What are you looking to accomplish? We're at the end of the year. It's 2024. Man, what are some of your goals you got laid out for yourself or your family moving into the new year, bro?
that's a good question. And sometimes people ask me like, "What is your word of the year?" And I don't really get into all that jazz, but I think I have a word of 2024.
Uh-oh.
And the word is asynchronous.
Woo.
So I want to create even more stuff in my life, more margin in my life by having more of my things be asynchronous, meaning I don't have to show up like I'm showing up now, which I don't mind doing this. I love doing this. I said yes to you because I love doing it and I love you and what you're doing and your mission. But like even this, like I've tried to be, Tim Ferriss, the guy that wrote the 4 Hour Work Week, he's got a great
Yeah.
podcast. I read his book in 2007 when it first came out, and a lot of the stuff that I do is molded exactly from his book. Like, how could you just set something up so you can just work 4 hours a week and like live a lifestyle that you want? That's
Yep.
really what I'm doing. I don't even work 4 hours a week, to be honest. But for those 4 hours I am working, I want to do it even less where I have to like be on a calendar. So how can I
Mm,
set up more stuff where I can provide value, but it's not always like everyone has to show up at a certain time to do it. So could I do more? There's a software called Loom where you can just record short little videos and share that
absolutely.
with people, and then people can answer stuff like that. So
Mhm.
really, what I'm trying to do is make more of my life be kind of asynchronous, so that I can provide value when I want to do it, when I feel like doing it. I don't have to
Yeah.
show up and because you called when we were trying to set up a call to talk about this like a week ago.
Yeah.
It's like you were running off somewhere, I was running off somewhere. It's like, can we get on a live call? And I'm like, yeah, we can, because I'm actually going somewhere because I can, and I just chose to drive my Tesla somewhere that day.
Yeah.
And it's cool that we could get on the call, but even then, we probably could have communicated without ever really talking to each other,
Facts. Yep.
like live anyway. So I'm
Yep.
trying to figure out for me how to make more of my life be like that. So I could just kind of show up when I want to show up, deliver when I need to deliver, and then people can absorb it whenever they want to. And it serves everybody because they can do it on their own time. I can do it on my own time. And then I can sit on the beach and drink pina coladas or whatever I want to do.
So, man, geez. Yep. I knew this was gonna happen, y'all. For like literally, Dave and I, this is our first time doing one of these, and I knew it's just gonna be just jam packed with all kind of value, y'all. Like I had no doubt about that. So many things I want to discuss with you. We could rock on for probably a couple hours on this one. So, couple closing questions, or as we kind of get to the end of our time here, man, because we could literally stay on here for hours. Paint a picture, if you will, for our audience and also too for me, right? Because that goal that you have is one that we've been working towards, in meeting with my teams, like, okay, how can we serve more people and have less time blocked out on my calendar, right?
Yeah.
And still be a blessing to folks and help people get to the finish line and things of that nature. But sometimes I think our folks don't realize what the finish line looks like because we've been so programmed, right, to grind and hey, I'm putting in 50 hours a day and yada yada yada. For us, if and yes, sure what you want, with having that kind of autonomy around your schedule and not having to work 10, 20 hours a day and things of that nature. What do you do with that free time? Paint that picture a little bit for us. What do you do with that free time, bro?
Good question. I'll preface it with this: your effort doesn't matter, it's the results that matter.
Whew.
So a lot of people are like, oh, I
Goodness.
worked a 60-hour weeks, whatever. I'm like, that's cool. I probably made more money than you, and I worked like an hour this week. So, and I'm not trying to, big shot anybody, but like,
Yeah,
there's
no
just
doubt.
this idea of this fetishizing of, working and hustle and grind. Don't get me wrong. I did hustle and grind, and I did work my tail off when it made sense for me to do it, but I don't want to do that anymore.
Hmm?
So your question is a valid one. Like, do I just dork around and play video games all day? No, but what it allows me to do is work out and take time to make more nutritious meals for myself than go eat an egg McMuffin or whatever.
Yeah.
And in those slower times, in those slower moments where I'm making an omelet for myself or I'm at the gym or whatever, because I'm not in a rush, I'm more creative. And so the ideas come to me and flow through me like all day. And I have a system set up where I can capture those ideas through some software that I use that I might have an affiliate link for.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for
but
sure.
I capture them. And so then when I have to show up or I get invited to show up with something like this, like
Yeah,
I've run through so much of this stuff and I've been going through my head when I'm not stressed, I'm not on somebody else's timeline, that I can deliver something powerful for people, whether it's through this or my own podcast or my own Facebook Live or whatever. And then I'm creating emails and doing stuff like that. But also what I'm doing is I'm exploring all the new tools and things that are out there. So
yeah,
it's just like, oh, well, let me play with this new AI stuff. Let me see what's happening here, whatever. And then as I'm doing it, I usually do a screen recording. And there's on my resource guide, there's a whole bunch of apps that show you how to do this. And it will create like a not only a recording, but sometimes it'll create like a step-by-step PDF for people for what I'm
yeah,
doing.
yeah,
And then I'm going through it, learning it myself. And I just kind of voice out like, hey, well, this is cool. Hey, check this out. This is pretty neat. And then I just share with my audience and like, wow, that's amazing. And like, yeah, and of course I have an affiliate link for it. There it is if you want to go check it
yeah,
out.
no doubt.
So it's really just, practicing with the new stuff that's out there, investigating the new stuff that's out there, kind of
Yeah,
staying on the tip of the spear, if you
yeah.
would, for, the new stuff that's happening in the digital marketing space
Mhm.
and synthesizing it for my audience. So it's really just a lot of time of thinking and creating kind of in my own head so that
Yeah,
then when I turn on the microphone or the camera, I just go. I don't really typically have slides or notes. It's just like I've had enough time to think about it and process
yep,
it and
yep,
synthesize it
yeah.
because I'm not running around all over the place that
Man.
it serves people better that way.
Okay, so I gotta piggyback off of that and go with a shameless plug here. Here recently, man, we started doing VIP days at the recommendation of our ops manager, Megan. She brought it up. And I had never conducted a VIP day, right? And with the way the VIP day for for the audience listening is, we know so many people want to become financially free, right? They want to grow their wealth. They're looking to grow their passive income so they don't have to work as much and they have that autonomy and can control their schedule and things of that nature. And what we started to realize, I mean, and this is even me after doing this for 20 years, man, is that people had this desire, and we always ask the question, like, well, why aren't you getting it done? It's because they're so damn busy
Yeah.
being busy.
Yeah.
So when we started doing these VIP days, man, we was like, we're gonna lock down for 6 hours. And people hear that, like, oh my gosh, this 6 hours goes by so fast. But because we force them to slow down, remove distractions, let that creativity flow, let it get the anxiety down, right? We're able to move a crazy needle. So the results we have had for our clients, members of the community going through our VIP days have been off the chart, just completely off the chart. And the secret sauce to it is we slowed down, we were creative, we were able to assess where we are, get a better, say, really identify where we want to go, and we're able to put pen to paper and make things happen because it's so hard to do in a hey, let's talk for an hour and then boom, you're already distracted because you're looking at emails while you're talking to me and somebody's knocking on your door and XYZ. We lock them down in a room, no technology, and we just get to it, man. And it's amazing what we can get done. So I love that piece that you were talking about, how that creativity can just flow through because you're slowed down,
Yeah. I
right?
mean, you sometimes got to slow down to speed up. And I don't know why people would not spend a day with you going through that process. Like, they'd be foolish to not take you up on that because the best time to look at the map is before you head out into the woods.
Facts.
And if you're going to help them, not only give them the map, but create their own map so they know where they are, they know what the destination is, right? If you don't know where you're going, you'll never get there,
Facts. Facts.
So if you're helping them do that, then yeah, do it. And I get it. There's people that are like, oh man, I'm working a full-time job and I got kids and I got to go to soccer practice. I got to walk the dog. I got to whatever. I get it. I was there too. And I needed somebody like you in my corner to be like, okay, first we need to plan our work and then we're going to work our plan. Right. And
Mhm.
so I didn't start off making, 6 figures a month with affiliate stuff. I made like $10. And then I made, okay, let's double that. And then instead
Right.
of doubling it, let's talk about moving the decimal point.
Yeah.
And then we started doing that. I'm like, okay, this is doable. This is doable. This is doable. And I got some wins, some quick wins. And then I'm like, okay, cool. And then I got the momentum. And then here I am talking to you, hanging out in my sweatshirt, in
I
my
love
office,
it. I
chilling out
love
on
it,
a
man. I
Thursday
love it.
afternoon.
I love it. All right. And then I would be remiss if I didn't at least mention this before we get into closing remarks.
Yep.
If you don't follow Dave yet, be sure to follow him because he has the best memes in the world. Tell us a little bit. Bro, like for years, I was like, okay, let me see what Davis posts. Like, where did he find this one? Like you have that, and you told us, I think you shared on one of your trainings one day, that you actually have a folder of just memes and just so tell us, tell the audience. Well, first of all, y'all need to go follow him so y'all can check out the memes because it's absolutely awesome. But why did you start doing it, and why did you like really get into it? Like, give us that story because
Yeah.
that's one of the things that attracted me to you.
Yeah. So I mean, it's part of building my personal brand. And like if I'm always talking business all the time, like you don't want to listen to that, right? If I was just talking about like, this, that, whatever all day, every day, you'd be like, oh man, come on. Like I'm just a normal dude. I like to have fun. I like to make people laugh. I like to connect with people. And so I would find these things funny and I would just share them. And then I just started sharing more and more of them. And then I got so good at it that I found some really good places to get them from. And then it's crazy. Like not a day goes by where somebody doesn't send me something. Like I'm getting them in Facebook messages and email. Like, have you seen this one? And honestly, I've seen almost all of them, but I'm like, yeah, keep sharing them, keep sharing them. Cause sometimes I get some that I haven't seen. But for me, it was just like, how can I kind of keep people's guard down so they keep wanting to lean into what I'm doing? Right.
Yeah.
And you see, like, if those of you that can see the video, like I'm in a sweatshirt, I'm in a hoodie, I'm not all dressed up, I'm not like stodgy, whatever. And I kind of get the impression you're like that too. Like, even though you're in the financial sector, like you
Yeah.
don't come across as like somebody who's like, oh, look at me, I'm a Wall Street, big
Yeah.
shot. It's like, no, I'm just like you. And I wanted people to know I'm just like you. And the stuff that I'm executing on is not special. And I'm not special. And I don't have some gift that you don't have. I'm not a wizard. Like I am just like you. I like to share funny things, but I also do this thing. And so if you ever want to
Yeah.
do this thing, it's over here. We can talk about it.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, I'm just going to share funny stuff with you. So really, it's just a way to kind of keep my audience warm, keep them leaning
Yeah.
in. And then when they're ready to talk business, they know where to
Yeah.
find me.
Man, when I say first of all, I'm so thankful to have you on, brother, to share your story and your message with the community and things of that. But man, if didn't nobody else get anything out of this call today, brother, I sure did. Like to hear you say that as we're going into 2024 and keeping it, just because it's so easy to get caught into over talking about business and numbers and whatnot. People don't want to hear that shit all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on now, right? Staying human, staying, connectable. Thank you for that. Thank you for the reminder to slow down to go fast, man. The curse of knowledge. When I say you've given me some gems today, man, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I've been working on my affiliate link. So it's kind of funny because, as we're going into this new season of really being able to articulate what we do and like going all into creating passive income, most folks know Perry is the investment guy. So immediately they think stocks, investments, risk, maybe insurance, right? And we're licensed to do all of those things. And when people hear financial advisor, they usually think, oh, he's going to try to sell me into some type of financial product, or he's going to talk about retirement plans and, investing money that I don't have, right? And when we made the pivot here over the past year and said, really, wealth is passive income. Wealth is time, right? If you were to stop doing what it is you're doing today to earn income, do you have enough passive income coming in to still cover your lifestyle expense so you can have impact and do the things that you enjoy and volunteer to church and things of that nature? So this conversation with you, man, has definitely blessed me. And I hope it's blessed the audience because you can create passive income without working 10, 20 hours a day, without having, a couple $100,000 to invest. But it still takes work, right? Because let's not get it twisted. You started doing this back in 1990. It's 2024 right now, with 2024 right around the corner. And this is what you've built up to. But serving hard and serving your community, man, just when I say just, man, has just spoken to my soul, brother. I appreciate you so much. So with that being said, as we get ready to get out of here, because like I said, we could talk all day. Last words that you want to share with the community, and also to mad love. Thank you for access to the the link. I'm actually going to build one myself because there's some things I use like QuickBooks on the financial side that I have an affiliate link for, but I
Yep.
never think about really diving into it. And again, how many people can I be helping? But I'm not helping him because I'm not opening my mouth, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna fix that going into 2024. I guarantee you that. But last words, man, to share with our community, and how can they connect with you and find you and all of that jazz, bro?
Thank you. And thank you for the opportunity today. This has been great. I love when people invite me to talk about this stuff because I love it. And I know it's going to change somebody's life if they take action on it. So my advice would be, my closing comments would be, start and stop stopping.
Ooh,
Just start with this stuff and be consistent. Do a little bit each day. It's not going to happen overnight, right? You can't make this happen overnight, but you can certainly get started overnight and just get going, and then don't stop, and don't be frustrated, and don't, like, just play the long game. It's not that hard. It's not, if someone doesn't take you up on your link today, tomorrow, the next day, whatever, it's fine. But once you kind of get the hang of this, you'll see that it catches on. And once it catches on, you talk about wealth. What I talk about is, like, what is success? I talk about success as being able to do what you want, whenever you want, with whoever you want, because you want, how you want, like,
that's
and
it,
that's what I can do, because I've done something like this. So if I could do it, any of you could do it too. Oh, and if you
man.
want to connect with me,
Yeah,
I'm not hard to find. Just search Dave Gambrill. I'll come up. I have the first 3 pages of Google covered. So you want to find me on Instagram, YouTube, wherever you are. I'm not on TikTok a whole lot, so don't check me there, but Facebook, whatever. And if you go to gambrill.com/Perry, you can get the resources and stay in touch with me that way too.
that's super dope, brother. Thank you so much. We're gonna close out here. So and stay on here for a couple minutes, Dave, because we got some of our private clients inside the Zoom with us who may have some questions here for you. But there you guys have it, y'all. Cash flow unlocked, creating passive income through affiliate marketing. Again, the goal is to help close the wealth gap. The goal is to give you financial freedom. And we know that the gateway to financial freedom is passive income. And there's so many different ways to get it. Don't get locked in or start believing that you can only create passive income one way. There are multiple ways to create passive income, and you have to be intentional about starting to create passive income today. Your financial freedom rests on how quickly and how efficiently you can create passive income, because we want you to have that income, because with that income comes independence, and with that income comes more impact. And we want to create a community of folks who are living their best lives, having the time freedom to go out and do what they want to do when they want to do it, with who they want to do it with, but also to be in a position to provide impact, volunteering, in your communities, in your churches, spending more time with your kids, with your spouse. There's so many things we can do, focusing on your health. So we want to thank Dave for joining us. That's this episode, y'all. Cash Flow Unlocked. Be sure to share, like this, show us all the love, and we appreciate y'all.